Focus stacking in Photoshop.
Hi there, this is Richard here. Welcome to another video on some quick tips and tutorials. This one is all about focus stacking. It's basically taking a number of images where, for whatever reason, you wanted to get a the whole picture in focus from foreground to background, but because of the camera settings or because it's macro, something like that, where you focus, if it's a close-up, maybe you focused on a point of the photo, which will obviously, because of depth of field, it will make another part of the photo blurry. So this is where you can focus at the thing at the front of the photo that you want to be sharp, and you can set different focal points all the way through the photo. So you could have 6 from front to back, where the front thing is in focus, and you take 5 images, gradually moving the focal point back to the furthest point of the image that you want to be in focus. So you've got, say, 6 shots, all with different focal points. You put them all together, which will give you one image, sharp from the front to the back. Like I say, great for macro, close-ups. You can even use for landscapes if you have that really interesting foreground and you also want to keep something nice in the background. You can set different focal points and merge them all together and give you one final image. So let's head over to the computer and see how it's done. So the first thing you do, we've got Photoshop open. We need to click on File, Scripts, and Load Files into Stack. So what that's going to do, that's going to find, we're going to find the photos that we want, and it's going to stack these photos so that we can work on all 3. I've got 3, but you could have more than that. We're going to stack those 3 photos. Attempt to automatically align source images. Tick that box. It will just mean that the photos will be lined up. So if you've got that one point of interest, you'll see when we open the photos why that's important, because it will then put them all together and keep that focal point in the same place so that there's not a blur or a distortion on that one point. So we click on open, and you can see here we're using a couple of whiskey bottles that I've had. You can see that not much left in the expensive one, but loads left in the cheap one, but they're both coming down, so have no fear. But basically what we've got here is the 3 photos. So the first photo, you can see the platinum, clearly focused on the platinum. That one's in focus. We then move the focal point to somewhere in between. So perhaps back of this bottle you can see that the word platinum on the back there is in focus, but neither of the main labels are. And then the final photo is the back label, the black label of the back bottle. That's not easy to say. In focus. So we want to tick them all, highlight them all, make sure they're all highlighted down here, and then we click on Edit and Auto Blend Layers. You then choose Stack Images and make sure these 2 boxes are ticked here, which will give it the best chance of looking good when it's finished. Click on OK. My 8-year-old Max will take a few seconds, and while that's doing that, highly recommend the platinum label if you're a whiskey drinker. It's in the UK £65 a bottle. Black label's okay too, cheaper obviously, but platinum was really nice. But we're not sponsored by Johnny Walker in any way, shape or form. There are other whiskies out there that you can sample. But if Johnny Walker do want to sponsor us, we'll be happy to. No, we won't. I'm joking. I've changed my mind. We don't want to be sponsored by Johnny Walker. Okay, so this is finishing now, nearly done. So there we go. So now we've got a final image. You can see straight away that's popped up. We've got platinum and black, both in focus. Not perfect here. We can do something with that afterwards, perhaps. But it's writing, so it's quite specific and it's quite detailed. So that may happen. So we've got the final image here. So if we turn off the final image, turn off all the images for now, you can see from the bottom up, you can see that from this image here, that's what it's taken into the final picture, because that's what it's deemed to be the sharpest part of that photo. And from the second photo, it hasn't taken as much, but still deemed worthy of taking this through, because that's the sharpest part of that point of that photo from these 3 photos. And finally, the front bottle it's taken most of the label here and the crest, or the logo, and the crest there. So it's basically taken the part from each photo that it thinks is the sharpest to create one final photo, with everything being in focus. Obviously we could have taken a fourth photo and focused on the chair. We could have taken a fifth photo and focused on whatever that is behind it, a desk or something, and so on. So you can see how you can take many shots and get all 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 photos lined up, to get that one final image, sharp from front to back, but still close, still showing the detail of what you're doing. Like I say, great for macros, great for close-ups, can be used for landscapes. If you've got that foreground and the mountains, for example, you want both to be in focus, you could do something like that. I would think you'd have to be careful if there's moving things in it, like if it was a macro of a bug, if it moved between the photos, obviously it won't stack them, won't line them up properly, so that's worth considering. Same if it's got sea or birds or things like that. So it's worth just playing around and seeing what works. So once you're happy with that final one, you can highlight all the layers, all the images down the right hand side, and then as you do, simple process, just flatten the image, which will then give you the one photo here, and then it's just a simple case of saving out, save as, choose where you want to save it. Let's call it Focus Stack Final, and JPEG, press save. I will always save as maximum, and then if you want to reduce it later in Lightroom or whatever your preferred editing software is, or file reduction software, you can use that, but keep it the maximum, and then you've got the biggest one to play with when the time comes. Save it out, head over to where they are, and let's just have a quick look at our finished product. So these are the 3: front bottle, somewhere in the middle, and back bottle, all merged to give one final photo where everything is in focus. So there we go. I hope that was useful. Hit like if you like it. Don't like if you don't. Tell me why. Tell me what I could do better. As I learn things, I will. As I get time to put more videos up, I will. So don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for looking. I told you it was a short one. And see you next time.